Yes, most of the focus is usually on working mothers. But what about fathers? Can they really have it all? One male CEO says no. Our parent panel here to weigh in next.
Thank you, Tucker. Well, do dads get enough credit for trying to balance a career and family? Max Sheeranson, the former CEO of the software company MongoDB, there he is, posted on his blog that he was demoting himself because having it all is nearly impossible, he wrote. So are the sacrifices of fathers being overlooked, as he attempted to make the point. Let's ask a trio of parents. Liz Stern is the CEO of DivaMoms.com. James Briscione is the chief, is a chef. He's not a chief, but he's a chief in the kitchen. He's a chef with the Couples Kitchen. And David Schwartz is an attorney. All parents. Nice to see all of you this morning. I'll start with you, David. What was your response when you heard Max's blog post? Can dads have it all, or is he blowing hot air?
Well, I think that's an extreme example. I was thinking about it in my own life and how hard it is to balance everything between children and work. But the idea of raising a family in California and being a CEO in New York, the demanding schedule of those two concepts, it's almost impossible to be a dad and being a CEO in New York.
But James, I mean, woe is me. It's so difficult. He's the CEO of a company. His family's in one state. He can fly back on a private jet. Woe is me.
Exactly. I really appreciate the point he's raising. I mean, being a parent is a full-time job, and clearly being a CEO or everything else is a full-time job. But he's raised a great point. But CEO to VP, with all this newfound time, I mean, has he fired his nanny or his housekeeper? Is he around the house doing all the work now?
Liz, will you be the only one that defends him?
Well, what I'm going to say is this. It's his choice, and this is what he chose to do. And I guess he was in a position financially to do this. A lot of men don't have that, good fortune, and don't really have that option. They have to stay where they are because they need to provide for their family or for whatever it may be. And I think that it was his choice. He decided to do this, and I think we can't fault him for that. He decided to take a step down so he could be with his family more often. And I think that, again, it was his decision, and I guess him and his wife obviously spoke about it, and they figured out financially that they could do this. And I guess, again, it was his decision to do that.
He didn't mention what he was doing with his salary.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, he's going to take a pay cut. And David, as an attorney, you're a busy guy. You got 2 kids at home. I mean, do you find that you just can't have it all? You can't have this life, this enjoyable life with the family?
You're constantly making decisions. There's meetings, there's important court dates, there's important things going on in my business life. But then the kids are just as important, and they're more important. And you have to balance the two. And constantly, I'm compromising business to be there with my children.
Let's talk food, guys. Can we talk food? As the chef here on the set, I got to get your take on this next story, because new statistics out this week on just how much time we're spending around the dinner table with our families. Kind of troubling that the Americans eat breakfast alone 60% of the time and lunch 55% of the time. We're increasingly eating alone. Why? What's going on?
We've got to stop and take the time. We've got to, this is one of the rules in our house, and this is something, my wife, who's, an amazing cook herself, and is usually the one making dinner for us because I'm at work. Let's take the time at the end of the day, sit down, put all the devices away, connect. I think nowadays so many people are eating with their friends on the computer, on their phones, and staring at a screen rather than connecting with the people around them.
So as a mom of 3 children, also my husband and I are both working full-time, we make a very conscious effort every Sunday to figure out the week ahead. We sit down, I know it sounds crazy, but we sit down with our calendar and we say, okay, this is the days of the week that either I'm going to be home with the kids for dinner or you're going to be home with the kids for dinner. We know that also breakfast time in our home, we make a conscious effort to eat breakfast together. TV's off, computers down, but Mom, you're so mean. Mom, you're such a witch. Whatever it may be. You know what, guys? I don't care. We need to connect. We need time together. And I know that when I'm with those kids at dinner time or during breakfast, when we're together and we're actually connecting, it's so important because I get things out of them that I would never get before. And we're actually talking to each other and learning how to have a conversation as a family.
David, I want to get your take on this. From the law side, you're used to dealing with ankle bracelets from criminals.
Not me personally.
Not you personally, but now I see this new ankle bracelet out there for little babies. It's called Sproutling. And is it making parents less accountable? It can monitor all sorts of things, measurements every second, reporting info back to their mobile phone. It tracks light, noise, temperature in the nursery, heart rate, sleep position. What about just parenting? Do we have to rely on these things?
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's not making parents less liable, but the bottom line is I'm in favor of all technology. I remember how nerve-wracking it was to be the parent of a baby and running up to the room every few minutes. They were too quiet. They weren't making any noises. I like the technology. I like as much information as possible.
I worry about the parent who's going to roll over and check their smartphone instead of going and walking over to the crib and sticking your finger under their nose. Are they still breathing?
I think I might be guilty of this. I
You
might be
know,
guilty of that.
these are the things we did as parents. I mean, go touch your kid.
Yes,
How are they doing?
I don't. I kind
Do they
of
feel hot?
I'm like kind of mixed about this. I'm on the fence about both sides because on one side I agree with you. I think technology is great. I think it's wonderful, and at the same time I think that parents need to actually be parents, and especially new parents, first-time parents. They need to know what's going on. They can't just rely on a computer to tell them, oh, my baby's going to wake up and it's going to wake up happy in 10 minutes. I want to know that on my own. I want to figure that out.
I would, even if I had it, I would look at it and then be like, I don't know if that's right. Let me go see.
I don't know.
You can't be just as nervous, but
I don't know. I just think that
Yeah.
as parents, we need to be present.
Liz, James, and David, great to see all of you.
Great to see you.
Go back to being parents. Coming up here on the show, panic on a crowded